Chair recognizes Ms. Thompson of Harris to explain the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, members, one of the things that we know when companies open up a business, they do it for probably several purposes, among which they go in business to make money. And we want people to make money. We believe in a free market, but we do not believe in gouging. Now, I'm going to tell you why I have this amendment. This amendment is for transparency. We want to make sure that when the pharmaceutical companies raise their prices 10%, we happen to know, we want to know about it. Right now, this bill doesn't have any transparency, and they can raise it 50 or more percent. Let me give you an example. I bet you have a lot of people in your district that use insulin. You probably have a lot of children who use insulin. Do you know when in the last 4 years, the pharmaceutical company has raised the price of insulin 90%? I was talking about 90%. Now just think about how much that costs. Most of us would call that gouging. I know I would. What about Lipitor? You know, Lipitor has been around a long time. Lipitor has been raised 84%. We want to know if they raise their drug prices 10%, we'd like to know that. Wouldn't you want to know it? I know I do. So when all I'm doing is asking is that if they raise their prices 10%, we want to know about it. This bill is going to allow them to raise it 50 or more percent before they tell us about it. I don't want my constituents gouged. You don't want your constituents gouged. And one of the things we want to remain a friendly state where people can come in here and do business, but we don't want them in our state doing business to gouge our constituents.
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Rose, for what purpose?
Will the gentlelady yield for a question?
Does the gentlelady yield?
Yes, sir, I do.
Gentlelady yields.
Representative Thompson, are you aware that 79% of Americans find the cost of prescription drugs unreasonable, according to a recent poll?
Yes, I'm aware that that is true, and it's really surprising when you look at the drugs and the rising cost of drugs, particularly those drugs that people depend upon for life-sustaining. You know, if you have a problem with diabetes and you need insulin and you don't take it or you can't get it, you know you're going to have deterioration in your health, and you're probably going to be absent from this society before long.
Thank you. And also, does the meaningful price transparency for prescription drug price increases have bipartisan support?
Absolutely. In fact, the threshold for price transparency in this amendment are very similar to a bill by Republicans in Congress, who was my friend Kevin Brady, who was here a few days ago, as well as bills passed in other states. Is very similar. Even bipartisan supporters in Congress believe that they ought to do something about price gouging. And all I'm asking for is to do what the people that sent us here for. Protect them from price gouging. Protect them from big pharma who want to stick it to them, especially when they want to have life-saving drugs like insulin, Lipitor.
That's right.
It's us to protect these people. And all we asking for is some transparency, ladies and gentlemen. We need 10%. And all I'm asking you for is put this amendment on. I move passage.
Chair recognizes Dr. Oliverson in opposition to the amendment.
Well, that is a tough act to follow.